Mike Doyle is a former board member and former chairperson of 2 standing committees in his 10 years at MLCC. He states that he believes the board of directors must support the general manager's efforts to control expenses and increase revenue to mitigate risks of dues increases. He states that we must maintain and improve facilities and property to deliver the greatest member satisfaction. Improving F&B operations requires a results-oriented board, Mike states, and he says he is committed to protecting membership from financial and legal risks. He states that he has no personal agenda and believes members' input is vital. Mike says he believes in the representative democracy under which our club is organized and supports the committee process. Please welcome Mike Doyle.
Okay, Mike, I have 4 questions, and I will give you a copy so you can read along with me. The first question, many candidates included in their applications a mention of the importance of the elected members of the board of directors working closely with the appointed committees. The first question, how often have you attended board or standing committee meetings recently, especially the finance committee, which has a pivotal role in proposing the annual budget to the board of directors? And the second question, based on your observations, do you have any specific ideas about how best to maintain or to improve the effectiveness of these board committee relationships? You have up to 3 minutes for your response.
Like many members, this year I attended very few of the meetings because many of our members don't do that. We try to follow it on the minutes that are posted and all the information that's posted on the website to try and see what was available for everybody and how good of a job that we're doing communicating to the people that frequently can't attend the meetings. And I think that there's a lot of info that goes out, but I think that we could probably do a better job of making more information available to the membership that aren't able to attend the meetings. I think that the best way to improve the effectiveness of the committees is that the board has to maintain, I think, an objective approach to what it is that the board wants to do versus what the committees want to do. And I think that this club is run by the committees. That's who develop the plans. That's who gathers a lot of input from the membership and presents items to the board. And I think the board's job is to support the committee process and what the committees have determined the club wants to move forward with, and trying to achieve those within the financial means and the legal means of what we can do to move projects forward with the club.
Thank you, Mike. Here comes question number 2. MLCC committees have looked at remodeling the clubhouse, adding a bathroom inside the pool area, and upgrading golf course tee boxes and greens, just to name a few examples. What would be your top priorities for the board to actively pursue in order to improve the club's infrastructure? You have up to 3 minutes for your response.
Well, I think when you look at these ideas, it goes back to how this club is organized and how it's run. Remodeling the clubhouse and the facility here is a house committee project. And I know that in the past the house committee spent a lot of time looking at different ideas on what to do to improve the club and the kitchen and this facility. And I think the board's top priority would be to work with that committee and support what they come up with that they deem to be in the best interest, based on their input from all the members. The same thing with the pool areas, pool and rec function. And when you look at what the pool and rec committee has developed down by the pool with the getting rid of all the trees and the new shade structure and the brickwork that's down there, I think that turned out very nice. And again, that's one of our committees doing what it was developed to do, come up with a plan for the pool area, develop some costs for it, and bring it forward to the members and to the board to move forward with it. And I think that worked. I think the same thing exists with the golf course. I know there's been surveys done here that members had a lot of input into what they would like to see done with the golf course. The Greens Committee has done a lot of work and talked to a lot of members. And again, when they come up with a plan, I think it's the board's job to support the committees and what they determine what goals should be for the club.
Thank you. Question number 3. It is vital for board members to be knowledgeable about the difference between the general budget and the reserve budget. For example, payment of utility bills is a general budget matter, while replacing the clubhouse roof is a reserve budget issue. The first question, can you elaborate on other important distinctions between the two? And second, do you have any thoughts on how to better inform the members about these differences in order to reduce confusion or misinformation? You have up to 3 minutes for your response.
I think that there is a lot of confusion that goes on between the general budget and the reserve budget. And, the example here between utility bills and a clubhouse roof is an important distinction. I think that often when people are, the feedback that I hear from everybody is, oh, we spend too much money on doing different things. We shouldn't be spending money on the golf course because we should save that money so our dues don't go up. And that's an independent process. The reserve fund is funded by our dues, and whether or not we spend that money, it doesn't impact our operating budget. So that's, I think, an educational thing that, the more we can get out to everybody, it helps. I think that anything we can do to educate the members is a good thing. And I think that, when you look here, this is one of the bigger groups that we've had at any of our board meetings or committee meetings or anything for quite some time. 2 years ago, over the 2 years that I was on the board under the last term and was the treasurer, we had Saturday meetings because everybody said they couldn't attend meetings during the week because they work or play golf or whatever. We had meetings on Saturday afternoons and Saturday evenings to do a complete review of the operating budget, the reserve budget, what the spending plans were, what the differences were in all the plans. And it was open to the public and an opportunity for anybody to come and learn about the differences and learn about the operation of the club. And I think that the more that we can do that and encourage some kind of participation, the better the club is served because it allows the members to make an informed decision about things that they want to press forward or to vote on.
Last question. Mike, while you're reading this last question, please be aware that no more than 30 seconds is allotted to you for your answer. And no, we won't be handing you a Rubik's Cube to solve, so relax. Please try not to use the word "and" not too many times. Okay, here we go. In one sentence, please describe what makes you an outstanding candidate for the Board of Directors in 2019. And I will remind you, you have up to 30 seconds for your response.
I think that I support the club's a representative democracy, and the committees run this club, and I believe that I support that process, and I think that that's very important for the board to do. I think that it's not good for board members to have personal agendas that jade the direction that they want to see things go in. That support for the committees is what's very important. I think that I've got a good business background, I've got a strong financial background.
Your time is up, Michael.
One sentence.
Thank you.